Hey everyone, I am in Walton County, Florida. That's the Gulf of Mexico behind me. And I want to show you where to sleep, where to eat, and where to relax in this warm weather destination all year round. In this video, we'll eat plenty of seafood along Florida's panhandle. We'll also do some outdoor activities like kayaking and cycling along 30A, so come along and let's explore South Walton, Florida. If you're flying into Walton County, you have two main options. One is Destin, which is closer to the west, Pensacola, and then ECP, Northwest Florida Beaches Airport. That's where I'm flying into. I connected in Charlotte. Alice is named after the Stevens family matriarch, Alice Stevens. So the architecture is very white. And also another very important thing to note is a lot of people have said, hey, you're going to Florida, what about hurricanes? Well, this housing and much of the other housing in the area is meant to withstand Category 5 hurricanes, which as of now, that's the highest category you could get. Everything in Alice Beach is white, and the architecture was inspired by Bermuda. So here we are at the White House. I'm going to ring the doorbell and see if the president's home. And here's condo number 213, aka the Liar's Lair. I wonder if Henry Rollins lives here. I'm just off 30A, which is also known as the Hamptons of the Florida Panhandle. So all 20 plus miles of 30A have a pedestrian and bike lane. And one thing that really stands out in South Walton is there seems to be at least one bike for every person I see. All right, I am here with Tom from Boathouse Paddle Club in Watercolor, Florida, and I believe we're getting ready to go on a paddleboarding excursion.
Yeah, Brian, welcome. Beautiful backdrop here you can see behind us. It's a very calm day. Western Lake is a gorgeous place to paddleboard, and we've been putting people on the water close to 15 years here on Western Lake at the Boathouse Paddle Club. So it's a great place to learn, and I know Brian's paddled before, but we're gonna give him some new tips and give him a new experience here at Watercolor.
All right, great. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Tom.
All right, thank you. Yep, switch sides. Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff you'll figure out on your knees. You'll see how the board's controlled. And there's no one, like a lot of people ask, well, how many strokes should I take per side? Totally up to you. Totally up to the conditions. We'll go into more detail, but I mean, it depends. You know, stand-up paddling in so many ads. And I can't tell you how many times they're holding the paddle wrong, which is hilarious to me. But it's...
Grand Boulevard in Sandestin is a great place for shopping and of course food. So I'm going to go to Vintage Food and Wine, which won the award for best restaurant in South Walton and I think the whole county last year, 2023. So I am going to go for the food. Vintage Food and Wine won the award for best restaurant in Walton County last year, 2023. So I'm here. I want to have something Florida, and I want to have something nearby, as in Gulf of Mexico. So I am having the grouper, which is over rice and black beans, and there's a little bit of lobster on there as well. The grouper's juicy, definitely not overcooked. It's pan-seared, I guess with some salt and pepper, because it's definitely a little bit salty. If you notice, I only poured a little bit of the lemon butter on it because grouper has a lot of flavor by itself, so you don't necessarily need too much of that. If you're like I was before this trip and you've never been to the Florida Panhandle, to put it on a map, we're about 4.5 hours west of Jacksonville, Florida. But if you notice the Alabama signs behind me, they're there probably because we're an hour, maybe a little bit more from the Alabama state line. And I flew into Panama City Beach, but you could also fly into Destin, which is west of where we are right now. Every day, thousands of people drive over Highway 98 behind me, and many of them don't realize that there are some murals beneath the underpass, which we're gonna go check out right now. This is a fitting mural, as we're just a few blocks from Inlet Beach. And then this one I like as well. So you have hands with strings, and then birds kind of resting on the strings. This one is by Art by Domen. All of these murals are by local artists, and this one is probably my favorite. I'm calling it Fisheye, but if you want to learn a little bit more about it, here is the Instagram handle of the artist Catherine Boggs. Now I'm here in the morning, but if you come at night, it'll be a totally different experience because these lights turn on after dark. Grayton Beach is one of the 16 neighborhoods in South Walton. So they have one of the more interesting slogans I've ever seen in my travels. Grayton Beach, nice dogs, strange people. This is the art wall. We're just a few hundred feet from the beach. And who could forget this guy? Anthony Bourdain. And then there's more right here, including someone that most beachgoers love, Bob Marley, on a surfboard. In the seaside neighborhood is 36 Natchez Street. So if there are any film buffs watching, I'd love to know if you recognize this house. Leave a comment. This is the house from The Truman Show, the 1998 Jim Carrey movie, where his life, I believe, became a reality TV show. This is where the character lived in the movie. It stands out a little bit because you got green, white, pink, and then a little bit of yellow up here, whereas the other homes on this street are one or two colors. While I'm in Florida, I'm staying at the Hotel Effie in Sandestin. It's about an hour from Northwest Florida Beach's airport. It has 250 rooms, plus a spa, a nice restaurant, and a rooftop pool, which we're gonna go check out. The rooftop pool is open all year round, and I wanna go check it out. There's a covered rooftop bar, cabanas are available to rent, and leave a comment. Have you ever played checkers like this? Or have you ever had a view like this from a rooftop pool? Old Florida Fish House is located in Seagrove. So there's a main kitchen here. There's also an oyster bar and a sushi bar. So I definitely want to try the main kitchen and the sushi bar here. I'm starting with the Caribbean Breeze roll, mainly because I want to see what a sushi roll is like with coconut cream on the top. It's very crispy from the panko shrimp inside, kind of like tempura style. And also, otherwise the coconut stands out because there's a lot of coconut curry sauce on top. I am having one of the chef's specials. So I never really associated lobster with Florida. I always associated it with Maine or Atlantic Canada, but this is from Key West. I'm told it was flown in here from Key West. Florida's a big state, so we're probably a 12 to 13 hour drive from Key West. But this is lobster stuffed with pineapple salsa. All right, the Key West lobster, the sweetness is a little more subtle, also a little bit firmer than I'm used to. And I really like the way they put all these different vegetables and diced pineapple in there. Leave a comment. Have you ever been charged this entrance fee to a restaurant? Another spot you can try is Oku in Alice Beach. This place is known for some of the most creative sushi options, from crispy rice to black magic, aka squid ink rice, and all kinds of other light bites, Japanese fare, and drinks. Now I'm staying at a hotel during my visit, but if you're really looking for luxury, you gotta head to 30A Inlet Beach. So right now I am at the Kaiya Beach Resort. That's not Kaiya like the pandan jam you might get in Malaysia or Indonesia, but Kaiya. And I wanna show you the top of the line, most expensive of the more than 100 apartments that you could find at this facility. I am in one of the 5 bedrooms. So this apartment sleeps 16 people total. So I'm thinking bachelorette party, bachelor party, family reunion, that sort of thing. But the good news is that there are several 2 and 3 bedroom options that you could get for well under 1,000, some of them maybe $500 a night. Just keep in mind, low season is January, February, so you'll probably get the best deals then. And it never gets too cold down in this part of Florida, also known as the Panhandle. This is the hot tub and pool, and there are rooms on both sides of it. So I guess you could say this area is kind of the courtyard. Nice Florida palm trees here. And it's always nice to see a porch bigger than my New York apartment. Now, speaking of expensive real estate, this would cost you around $1,500 to $2,000 a night, depending on when you're visiting. And this property is big enough that there's a golf cart to take you around. So after that tour, we're gonna go check out the private beach club. The beach club has this pool, and then the Gulf of Mexico is right behind it. Leave a comment, please. Have you ever done cardio or weight training with a view like this? The Big Chill is an outdoor dining space and a family gathering center in Water Sound, which really kind of reinforces the idea that Walton County, especially South Walton, is very family friendly. So right now, I'm just kind of sitting here, hanging out a little bit, trying a couple of the food vendors. And while I'm doing that, there's artificial turf there. There's a football game on the TV. And I'm trying a carne asada taco. And I'm also trying something that's a little bit more Florida while I'm here, which is this grouper salad. If you come to Florida, you know grouper is kind of everywhere. I got it blackened like the Metallica song. That taco was from mile marker 15, and I designed my own, which you could do there. They have other Mexican food options as well. A lot of people come to Florida for different reasons. So you have the warm weather all year round. You have the beautiful beaches. You have some areas that are more affordable than what you get in California or the Northeast. When it comes to food, my favorite thing to eat when I come to Florida, number one is alligator by far. Number two, though, and a solid number two, is grouper. So it's got a buttery texture. I don't know why it's not more popular. You get it fried a lot of the times. I don't recommend that. I recommend grilled or blackened because it has a buttery texture. It has a lot of flavor, so you don't necessarily need to drown it in sauce. I kind of just like it like this, in this case blackened. Same thing here, between the taco and between the grouper, I definitely prefer the grouper. I mean, Florida is a fish kind of state with all the coastline, and that's from Tackle Box. There's also this mini arcade at the Big Chill where you could play Jurassic Park, frustrate yourself by trying to clamp onto a stuffed animal, or play air hockey. The spa at the Hotel Effie is called Spa Liliana. I believe it's won awards. It's been here for a few years at this point. So I am going to be getting a massage here. But before I do that, I want to show you this, which is the Hotel Effie's signature scent. So I was drawn to this because when I exit the elevator, when I get to my floor, I notice this citrusy kind of cedar smell, like maybe hints of orange or basil or something like that, or something that I would like in a non-alcoholic drink. So this is it right here. I believe the only place you can get it is here. And this is something I really enjoy about every night when I head back to my room. I'm in the relaxation room about to get an 80-minute Vegas nerve massage, which is something I've never heard of before. All right, I just finished the 80-minute Vegas massage. Now that's VEGUS, not VEGAS, like the city out in Nevada. So my shoulders feel lower than normal, if that makes any sense. They don't feel high. My massage therapist hit on some areas that I could tell she knew what she was doing. Especially I have a popping in my shoulder and I don't feel it right now, so that's a good thing. And then here are some of the refreshments I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have some cherry blossom tea. and some coconut water to rehydrate. The massage left enough of an impression that I'm actually going to take some of this home. This is vagus nerve oil, which is one of the things that the massage therapist used on me. So I believe in here is everything that I got the massage with, and I'm taking it home. Ovid is the main restaurant at the Hotel Effie, and I am starting off with a crudo, a flounder crudo. And I want to describe this restaurant kind of like French sophistication meets Southern hospitality. Flounder, blood orange, watermelon radish. It's a good blend of citrus and olive oil. Gets a little bit of spice from the peppers. I really appreciate the watermelon radish though. Gives it a little bit of crunch. Next I'm having the squash soup. So that's squash and that's creme fraiche right there. And of course a couple petals for decoration. So this is the main event right here. Filet mignon, broccolini, oyster mushrooms in a Malbec sauce. So it's got a pumpkin taste, very smooth, a little bit of spice too. That kind of hits you in the back of the throat about 5 seconds in. So my server suggested medium rare. I got mine medium. So the Malbec sauce has like hints of plum, dark cherry, something like that. And of course the steak, made perfect, very tender, can almost cut it with a fork. And by the way, I am here in Walton County in October, so it's fall. That means 80 during the day, 60 at night. That's why you see me sitting outside. The dining room is beautiful, but I just love the cool October weather here. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. Going to be heading to Oklahoma City, also Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm going to be going to Cleveland for the first time in more than a decade. Same with Madrid. And then I'm also planning a trip to Greenville, South Carolina, a city I've never been to before. So I hope you get to come down to Walton County, check out some of these towns in the panhandle along the Gulf of Mexico. And I look forward to sharing more videos with you soon.